Again, because pest is simply a subset of PHP unit, it does still expose you a lot of the functionality from the underlying PHP unit library. Skipping tests is something that is quite common during the development phase of an application where you can temporarily turn on and off tests, skip tests, or mark tests as risky, or even run a specific test from your application instead of having to comment out entire parts of your application tests. Using the skip method on a test is the equivalent of using the mark test skipped PHP unit helper. For example, let's say that we didn't want to run the expect an exception test. Simply append skip to your test and run again. And we'll see here that the test was skipped and it comes up in the output that the test was skipped. If we want to provide a reason for this as well, we can simply pass in a message saying, we did not need to run this test. And we'll see the message in our test output that we did not need to run this test. This is common in application testing when you're in the development phase in the early cycles where you want to say why it hasn't been done. We haven't implemented this functionality, we're not ready for this functionality, and so on and so forth. You can also conditionally skip tests by putting a truth test as the first parameter and then a message as the second parameter. So if we were to say, for example, true is true, we did not run the test. If we run our test again, we'll see that we did not need to run this test. However, if this truth test does not pass, then the test will still run as expected. As part of your development phase, you may also want to run a specific test over and over and over again if you're having issues with it not running correctly, or if you're trying to solve an edge case, or you're trying to work through some kind of exception error that you're not expecting. Using the only helper allows you to run just that one test. And lastly, if you want to leave yourself a little placeholder for where to pick up when you come back to work later, you can simply write a pending test. It is a reminder of where to start tomorrow. And behind the scenes, Pest will handle marking this as a risky test. The test did not perform any assertions. This doesn't actually cause your build to fail, but it leaves you a clear indication of where you want to pick up from or why this test hasn't run.